कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सखगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सगगन ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम हरे कृष्ण. By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Today we are going to start the 8th chapter, Attaining the Supreme. So, in this Bhagavad Gita, in the 7th chapter, Krishna taught us so much of knowledge. Every sloka was filled with a lot of knowledge, lot of information in this Bhagavad Gita, in this 7th chapter. For example, in the 6th chapter, it's mainly only about controlling the mind, that's it. But in the 7th chapter, starting from beginning, Krishna is giving us, in every sloka, Krishna is giving lot of knowledge, so much of knowledge. But the important point, we should actually repeatedly study these slokas again and again so that we will remember all these things. That's what is very important. Because for us, we need to remember all the time that we need to get out of this place. That's the main thing. So we need to prepare for that. When we are going to some place, sometimes we will prepare much in advance, maybe years in advance. At least a year in advance you will book, especially if you are going for some international travel and things like that. We will plan very well and we'll book all the needed things in advance, book the tickets, a lot of things we will plan. So here we need to leave this place and we need to go. And that time is going to come. And we don't know when, but we should be prepared. That is the main thing. We should be prepared all the time to go there. So that is known as Prayana Kalam. That's what in the 7th chapter, the last sloka we studied. Yesterday when we studied in the last sloka, Krishna said that Sadi Bhutadi Devam Mam Sadi Yajnam Chaye Viduhu Prayana Kale Pichamam Te Viduhu Yukta Chetasaka Prayana Kalam. There is the time of leaving, the time of traveling. Prayana means travel. So Kalam means the time. So the time of traveling. Traveling means leaving this body and the soul is going to travel. So at the time of traveling, we should know where we are going. That's a very important thing. We should not let our fate to decide our next body. We should not just do whatever we want to do right now and simply engage in all kinds of materialistic activities. And then simply at the time of death, we will be under the control of Maya, and Maya will force us into another material body. All depends upon what we are doing right now. Nothing is in our hand. Right now, everything is in our hand. But at the time of death, nothing is in our hand. So now everything is in our hand. Now is the time we should actually utilize all the time very effectively. We should plan very well. Every minute we should use it very effectively, because this time is the one which is available for everyone equally, and we should not waste any time. So everything should be done at the right time. That is the main thing. So sometimes people say, why one should study Bhagavad Gita at a very young age? So there is no point in waiting to study Bhagavad Gita when we get very old, where Krishna is teaching us about how to do, how to perform, how to act. So Krishna is teaching us that I shall explain to you what karma is. Tatte karma pravakshyami. Tatte karma pravakshyami yajnatva mokshase asvat. By knowing which you will be freed from all kinds of miseries. Yajnatva mokshase asvat. So Krishna is teaching us about how to act. So if you don't use this opportunity effectively, if you don't learn it at very young age, so then how are we going to perform? How are we going to act? So Krishna is asking us to utilize buddhi, intelligence. So intelligence way of acting. So in order to have intelligence, in order to gain intelligence, we should not be focused. We should not be attached to material sense objects. Because when we are attached to material sense objects, we will not have intelligence. Only when we are connected with Krishna, only when we study Bhagavad Gita, only when we disconnect ourselves from this material sense objects, we will have intelligence. So otherwise we can't act with, we cannot use intelligence. If we are, so that's why Krishna is very clearly saying that Bhoga and Aishwarya, we should not be attached. We should be attached to Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge and Krishna, and do everything. So that way we will gain intelligence. So that is the way of gaining intelligence. So Krishna is using that Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktana Taya Apagarita Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. So that Buddhi, that intelligence will not be there. We will not have intelligence. So that's why this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is very important, because with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we will be able to gain intelligence, because we know how to gain intelligence, how to get intelligence. Then we will be able to act with using intelligence. That is what is known as Buddhya Yukta. That is what is known as Buddhya Yukta, means acting with intelligence. That's what is Buddhi Yuktahi. Karmajam Buddhi Yuktahi. So this Buddhi, intelligence, is very, very important. We need to have intelligence. If we don't have intelligence, then we cannot act with intelligence. We cannot use intelligence. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is teaching us very, very clearly that intelligence comes from me only. That's what Krishna is saying there. Intelligence comes only from Krishna. So only when we get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, when we worship Krishna, when we connect with Krishna, then only we will get the intelligence. So what does it mean by, what is the definition of intelligence? First of all, as per Bhagavad Gita, what is the definition of intelligence? The definition of intelligence is not getting ourselves attached to material sense objects. If anyone is affected by results in this material world, if anyone is too much attached to material sense objects, so that means that person doesn't have intelligence. So that's what we need to understand. So that means that person doesn't have no intelligence. So if we are not attached to this material sense object, so that means we have intelligence. So that's why Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita how to gain intelligence. So the intelligence we can gain only by studying Bhagavad Gita only. So that's why we are studying Bhagavad Gita. So now Krishna is teaching very clearly that Prayana Kali. Prayana Kali, in each chapter also we will study one sloka. Krishna uses the Prayana Kali, Manasa Chalena, Bhaktya Yutto, Yoga Balena Chaiva. So all these things are very important. At the time of death, our mind should be very steady. That's the main point. Our mind should be very, very steady at the time of death. If our mind is not steady, so that means we are in trouble. That means we cannot get out of this material wealth, material bondage at the time of death if our mind is not steady. So that's why Krishna is saying that Prayana Kale Manasa Achalena. So then Buddhya Yukta, Bhaktya Yukta, Yoga Balena. So then we should have that strength, Yoga Balam. What is yoga? Many times I have explained based on Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that yoga means not getting disturbed by anything. So yoga means equal in both success and failure. That's what is called yoga. Equal in both success and failure. So that is what is called yoga. So if we are able to prepare in this life, if we are able to achieve their status, not getting affected by the dualities in this material way, So that means we are going to have the strength, yoga balam, the strength of yoga. Then only we will be able to get out of this material world. If we have that yoga balam, then only we will be able to get out of this material world. And how are we going to get that yoga balam? How are we going to get not affected by the results of the activities? How are you going to be equal in both success and failure? That is going to be possible only when we are able to engage in serving Krishna out of love and devotion. That's what is called Bhaktya Yukta. Bhaktya Yukto Yoga Balena Chayi. So then only we can Gurur Madhye Pranamavesi Samyak Sakam Param Purusham Upaiti Divyam. We will be able to bring our soul, Atma. There is Guru Madhye Pranam. The Pranam will come between the two eyebrows. Then we can go to Krishna. Sadam Param Purusham Upaiti. So that means this life is meant for preparing that event, the time of leaving this body. All the time we should only use for that only, because when we are going to leave, afterwards no more relationship in this material world. Everything will be completely disconnected. Complete disconnection. That's it. We will leave means leave. That's it. Afterwards, no one is going to even worry about us. Everything. So that means it is up to us. Each and every individual. We should think about this very, very carefully, very clearly. That right now we may think that, oh, I have a lot of friends, a lot of relatives, a lot of families, and this and that. I have so much of things to do, all such things. That is true, but the problem is that this is not permanent. So that doesn't mean that we will ditch family, ditch everyone, not like that. So what does that mean? We need to get the full knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and serve Krishna and attach ourselves, get so much of attachment ourselves towards Krishna. So that way, at the time of leaving, we will be forced to ditch. That is the point. The main point here is that we will be forced to leave everything. We will be simply kicked out of this body. So if we ourselves are prepared for that, so then we will not be disturbed at the time of death. So that's why Krishna is saying that Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantara praptigi dhiraha tatra na mukhyati. A dhiraha, a sober person, is not bewildered by such a change. Dhiraha tatra na mukhyati. So we should not get bewildered. So that is why this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is very important. That is why we should engage ourselves in connecting with Krishna and doing everything in relationship with Krishna. And because of that bhakti, we are going to get intelligence and we are going to get yoga balam and all these things. Then our mind is going to be steady. So all these things are going to be possible only if we get this bhakti. Yoga balam, buddhi, and steady mind. Steady buddhi, steady intelligence, steady mind, and yoga, then the strength, and the strength of yoga balam. So all these things are going to come only if we have bhakti. There is devotion unto Krishna. And that bhakti will come only if we have knowledge. This knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So if we have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then only we are going to develop love towards Krishna. That bhakti means simply love towards Krishna. So then our life, our priorities will change. What we want to do, our goals will change. So our priority will be only to please Krishna. We will do whatever it satisfies Krishna. Because with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we are listening to him all the time. We are hearing from him. Because Krishna is continuously talking with us through this Bhagavad Gita. Every sloka, we are getting so much of knowledge about Krishna. So much of knowledge about ourselves and how to go to Krishna's way. And Krishna is asking us to get liberated from this old age, disease and death, all such things, jara, marana, mokshaya. So that is possible only by taking shelter unto Krishna. Mama shitye yadantiye, te brahma tadvidhu krishnam adhyatmam karma chakil. So that's why this is a very, very great opportunity we got. So we are making progress. There is no doubt about it. We are very sincere in this effort to study Bhagavad Gita. We are making definitely good progress. That's why we finished 7 chapters. Now we are starting 8th chapter. And one more important point here, it is not that we are going to finish. We cannot say that we are finishing. This is we are enjoying. Like when we eat food, we cannot say that I am done with eating. One meal when we finish, then we cannot say that that's it. No more eating. I'm done with eating. We cannot say that. Because next meal time, we need to eat. Otherwise, we will not have any energy. So similarly in Bhagavad Gita, we cannot say that, oh, I finished now 7th chapter, now starting 8, and then we will go to 18th chapter. So I finished the entire Bhagavad Gita. Not like that. We cannot say like that. Because Bhagavad Gita is the food for soul, for Atma. So we need to take this Bhagavad Gita, we need to read this Bhagavad Gita until the time of our death. I really expect and hope that this class will continue forever, at least in my lifetime and your lifetime. So the main thing is that we should keep on, this time, we need to keep on studying Bhagavad Gita. It is like our meal time when we go for food, for dinner time. So like that here, we are, for India, it is a breakfast time. So like that here, we are studying Bhagavad Gita every day. So which gives the knowledge, which gives the energy to the soul, which gives the motivation and inspiration and everything to the soul. So then we are very much prepared to serve Krishna in a very big way, actually, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. We are very much determined. So there's a Dhrita Vrata. Dhrita Vrata means the great determination, very strong determination. Dhrita Vrata, that's what is needed. So that Dhrita Vrata comes only when we fall in love with Krishna, only when we develop loving relationship with Krishna. So that's why this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita we should keep on studying. So now we finished in the 7th chapter. Now the very beauty of this Bhagavad Gita is that when Krishna teaches some subject, Arjuna asks exactly from what Krishna is teaching. He doesn't deviate. He will not go, I have different question, let me ask you like that. No. So Arjuna is very attentively hearing, even in the middle of the battlefield, attentively listening to from Krishna. So even in the 2nd chapter, the very first question when Arjuna asked Krishna, in the sloka number 54. So before that, in the previous sloka, in the sloka number 53, what did Krishna say? Krishna said there, Shruti vipratipanna te yatastasati nischala samadam achala buddhi tada yogam avapsis. One who is not affected by whatever he heard in the past and whatever he is going to hear in the future. So one who is not affected by these things, that's what Shruti Vipratipannate, Yathastasiti Nishala. So who is steady, his mind is steady and his intelligence is steady. Achala Buddhi, Samadha Achala Buddhi. That is the status of Samadhi. So that means his intelligence and mind and everything is very, very, very steady. So Krishna is saying that Tada Yogam Avapsisi. That is the way to gain this yoga. Then immediately Arjuna asked the question. Arjuna Vacha Sthita Prajnasya Kavasha Samadhistasya Kesava Sthitari Kim Prabhaseta Kimasita Vrajeta Kim. So Arjuna asked the question, what are the symptoms of a self-realized person? What is his language? How does he speak? How does he walk? How does he sit? So that's what the Arjuna is asking the question exactly based on what Krishna mentioned. Because we also need to know how to identify a person who is completely self-realized, who is completely free from the modes of material nature. So we need to know. So that's why here Arjuna asked such a question. When Arjuna asked such a question in just one sloka, in the 54th sloka in the 2nd chapter, then Krishna took how many slokas? 18 slokas to answer that one question. So from the sloka number 55 to 72 in the 2nd chapter, there is so much of knowledge. So much of knowledge. Each and every sloka was filled with so much of knowledge. It's filled with so much. So that way, it's very important Arjuna is asking the question. So now in the 7th chapter, Krishna is just finished talking. And Krishna is finished talking in the sense, in the 7th chapter, Arjuna didn't ask any question. In the 6th chapter, in the middle only Arjuna, in the 6th chapter also in the beginning, Arjuna didn't ask any question. Arjuna asked the question in the 5th chapter, first sloka. So for that, Krishna, in the 5th chapter, it has got 29 slokas. and then another 32 slokas, 31 slokas. So basically about 60 slokas, 5th chapter and 6th chapter, Krishna continuously gave answer for just one question Arjuna asked in the 5th chapter, first sloka. Sanyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha samsasi yachareyayetayorekam tanme bruhi sunischitam. So what is good? Is it giving up the work or doing the work and giving up the results? Which one is good? Sanyasam karmanam Krishna means giving up the karma, giving up the action. So, or punaryogam cha samsasi. Yogam means you perform the duty but give up the results. So punaryogam cha. So you perform the duty without any attachment to the results. So which one is good? So that's what Arjuna asked Krishna. So then Krishna gave the entire 5th chapter, 29 slokas. So the remaining 28 slokas. So then in the first chapter, in the 6th chapter, 32 slokas. Continuously Krishna gave answer in 60 slokas. Then only Arjuna is asking a question. So then in the 6th chapter, Arjuna asked a question about the fate of an unsuccessful yogi. What is the fate of an unsuccessful yogi? That means a person who believes in this Bhagavad Gita and tries to control the mind, but if he is not able to achieve success before death, so what is going to happen to him? That's a very important question. For that, Krishna answered very nicely in the remaining portion of the 6th chapter. And then in the 7th chapter, Krishna is continuing. So now 30 slokas we study. So Krishna has given very, very nice, very, very important knowledge. Each and every sloka is so much important that we need to keep on studying this. So now in the 8th chapter, like 7th chapter towards the end, Krishna is saying that Jaramaranam mokshaya mamashikti yatantiye te brahma tadviduhu kritsnam adhyatmam karma chailam. So they know, viduhu means they know who my devotees. My devotees, they know what is Brahma. Brahma and Adhyatma and Karma. And then in the sloka number 30, what we studied yesterday, Sadi Bhutadi Devam Sadi Yajnam Chaye Vidugu Prayana Kale Pichamam Te Vidugu Yukta Chetasakam. So Adibhuta, Adideva, Adiyajna, all such things they know. So then at the time of death, they will know me, they will come to me. That's what Krishna is saying. So now Arjuna is asking a question in the 8th chapter, first sloka. That's what we are going to study. In the 8th chapter, first sloka, first and second slokas, Arjuna is asking a question. Arjuna is saying that, Arjuna is asking Krishna that, Arjuna Uvacha, Kim Tat Brahma, Kim Adhyatma, Kim Karma Purushottama, Adibhutam Chat Kim proktam adidevam kimuchyate atiyajnaga katam kotra desmin madhusudana prayana kaleta katam nyayoshi niyatatmabhihi. So I'm just covering 2 slokas because it's Arjuna is asking a question continuously. So that's why I'm covering this sloka number 8.1 and 8.2. So whatever Krishna told in the previous chapter, in the last 2 slokas, Arjuna is simply repeating that and asking the question. Now Krishna has to spend a lot of slokas to explain, answer all these things. Even in the 13th chapter also, in the beginning, first sloka itself, Arjuna asks the question there, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnameva Cha Yetat Veditum Ichchami Jnanam Nyeyam Cha Kesava. I want to know what is Prakriti, Purusa, Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnana, Nyeya. So like that here, Arjuna is asking that, what is Brahma? Kim Tat Brahma? What is Brahma? What is Adhyatma? Kim? What? What is Brahma? What is Adhyatma? Kim Tat Brahma? Kim Adhyatma? Kim Karma? What is Karma? Purushottama? What is Brahma? What is Karma? What is Adhyatma? What is Adideva? What is Adibhuta? Adibhutam Chakim Proktam. Adidevam Kim Uchare. Adiyajnaga Kotram Degesmin Purushottama. So Adiyajnaga. So Niyatatmabhi. So what is Adiyajna? So that's what Arjuna is asking. So Adiyajna Kotra Degesmin Madhusudana Prayana Kalecha Katam Yeyosi Niyatatmabhi. Because Arjuna, Krishna said in the previous sloka, everything, whatever he said, exactly is asking. Krishna said, Karma, Brahma, Adhyatma, Adibhuta, Adideva, Adiyagnya. Then also Krishna said that, Sadibhuta, Adidevam, Mam, Sadiyagnam Chayevidu, Prayana Kale Picha Mam Te Viduhu, Yuttachetasaka. They know about me at the time of death. So here, Arjuna is asking that, Prayana Kale Cha Katham Neyosi Niyatatma Vihi. Oh Krishna, how to know about you at the time of death? Prayana Kalecha. Adiyajnogam, Adiyajnaha Katham Kotra, Degesmin Madhusudana, Prayana Kalecha, Katham Neyosi, Niyatatma Bigi. So, how to know you at the time of death? How to remember you at the time of death? Prayana Kala. So, it's a very important question Arjuna is asking, because whatever Krishna said, because everything is new to Arjuna. All the words are very highly technical, scientific words, and new to Arjuna. And Arjuna is asking that question. So that way, we are very, very fortunate to get this kind of knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, because we should be very thankful not only to Krishna, but also to Arjuna for asking such intelligent, excellent questions. So that's why we are getting this knowledge by Krishna's question. So we finished very successfully. In fact, today 2 slokas, because both are connected together. So that's why I wanted to go through both these slokas together, 8.1 and 8.2. So we will continue to study now. Krishna will start answering Arjuna's question. So the entire 8th chapter, and then even the 9th chapter also continuously. So then the 10th chapter only Arjuna will start asking questions again to Krishna. So that way, because these questions are very important, because Arjuna is asking in 1 or 2 slokas so many questions. How many times he used kim katham, kim tat brahma, kim madhyama, kim karma purushotama, adibhutam cha kim prokam, adidevam, kim uchyate, adiyajnaka, katham kotra, degesmin madhusudana, prayana kale cha katham neyosi, niyatatmapi, kim, katham. So like that, Arjuna asked so many questions here to Krishna. So we are very fortunate. Arjuna has asked such excellent questions. If we understand the meaning of all these things, then definitely we are going to get freed from this material bondage. There is no doubt about it. So we'll stop now. We'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.